Hello my loves, I'm Maddie Rose, and today I'm going to be stabbing myself a few hundred times in the least. I am not a licensed professional, and all views in this video are opinions and pure experience only. The beginning of this video will be a tutorial on how I personally do all of my stick and pokes, and the rest will just be my process, so you can watch the tattoo from beginning to end. I will insert a picture here of my idea of what I want to do. It is going to be a mountain range that goes up into one mountain and then eases down into an inverted mountain with an arrow pointing up for the highs in life and an arrow pointing down for the lows in life. It is going to be right here on my forearm. I'm going to begin by showing you the things that you will need. First and foremost, you will need tattoo ink. I use Mom's. I got this on Amazon. It is black onyx. Then you will need a pencil or something to attach your needle to. That way you have something to grip. This is just a pen that I broke off and I thought it was pretty, so I used it. Next, you will of course need needles. Really any sewing needle will work. I just got these at Walmart, sharps. Then you will need tape to adhere the needle to your pencil or whatever. You can use Scotch tape if you're a normal human, but I was out, so I'm gonna use this like packing tape because I don't have my life together. Next, you will need a lighter to sterilize your needle, scissors to cut your thread, hand sanitizer just to keep your hands clean throughout the process, around 4 wet paper towels, and around 2 dry paper towels. I keep just a glass of water on hand to wet more paper towels as I need to. You will need way more wet paper towels than you will dry ones. Then you will need something to hold your ink in. I do have those little tattoo ink cups, but I lost all of them. So life hack, you can use like the jewel pod case things. Then you can just cut one of those off and use that, and that holds ink pretty well. You can pretty much use anything that can hold ink, like a bottle cap or something, as long as you sterilize it. And lastly, you will need a motherfucking drink because it is a time-consuming process and you'll be a thirsty fucking bitch. You're going to start by washing the area that you will tattoo with mild soap and water, just hand soap is fine, and of course washing your hands. You should absolutely shave the area that you're going to tattoo. I didn't because I'm lazy, and in this video you will see why you should do that, because the ink will get caught in your hair and it'll look weird. So use me as the poster girl for what not to do. I'm going to start by picking out the needle that I'm going to use today. Once you have your needle, you can take your pen or whatever and begin to tape it on. Well, that was an oddly convenient mistake. It ripped in half. You're going to press your needle against your pen like so, and then just pop the tape right on. Then just wrap it around to tightly secure the needle to the pen. Once your needle is adhered tightly, then you're going to take a lighter and just go over the tip until it turns red. That way you know there's no germs or bacteria or whatever on the needle. Oh, fuck on me. Next, you're going to take your thread and wrap it around the tip of your needle many times. Thread is what is going to hold your ink. That way, as you're tattooing, the ink will come out of the thread and into your skin. You're going to place the thread right up against the needle, then pinch that down with your thumb, and then wrap it around. You really can't see a damn thing I'm doing. You're gonna wrap it around, that way it holds down the original piece of thread that you set down. You're going to wrap until it ends up like this, with just the tip of the needle exposed. To tie it off, you're going to hold the part that is attached to the needle very tightly so that it doesn't slip. And you're going to just cut off a chunk of it. You're going to take the tail of the thread and wrap it around 2 of your fingers, and then put the thread through the hole that you created so that you have a loop. Then you're going to take that loop and put it right over the top of the needle and pull it tight. I fucked that up. So make a loop with your fingers, pull it through the loop, pinch the loop, put it right over top of the needle and pull it tight. I'm going to do that a couple more times to make sure that it stays secure and doesn't slip. So this is what your needle should look like. Then you're going to cut off the excess string. Now that that is finished, you are going to get your ink ready. So take your janky ass jewel pod case, cut it into one single piece, or be a normal human, use something normal to hold ink in. Mix up your ink and pour it straight into your container. Also, you can totally buy stencils for tattoos specifically on Amazon. I don't, because I just freehand all of my tattoos. You can also use a Sharpie or a pen, but that will wipe away as you use your wet paper towels and such, and you will have to keep redoing it. But that does work if you want some kind of stencil to follow. Putting your hair up is a decent idea if you have any sense at all. Fuck's sake. I was trying to set my tripod and I knocked over my ink on my hand. So, fantastic! This is so good! When stick and poking, you're going to feel the needle go all the way through your skin and it's going to feel like a little pop. And then as it comes back out, it's going to feel like it's tenting your skin a little bit, which is an odd sensation and it's kind of gross, but you get used to it. Keep in mind that when your skin swells, it can no longer take any ink in that session. So I'm going to be going over the same part a few times because, once it starts swelling, I can't go over it again. So you're going to take your needle, fully saturate it into your ink. You want to try to stretch the skin the best that you can, because the more spread out your skin is, the easier it'll be to pop through. So I tend to take the base of my hand right here and pull my skin back. It is the easiest way to stretch your skin without using your other hand, which is why it's difficult to tattoo your own arm. Just like that. And wipe away. And then take your dry towel and go over it again. That way the water does not dilute the ink. And you're going to keep going over the same line until it is solid. Or semi-solid. Sometimes you don't get it all done in one session, and that is fine. I forgot it is a good idea to take some Tylenol or something to help with the swelling. I am anemic and I have very sensitive skin, so I swell very easily, and I also have really bad memory, so I'm gonna take some now. Oh, fuck. Ugh. I should say bleeding is also normal. I have a little tiny pearl of blood right there. I'm really shaky. I might be having a hypoglycemic attack. I took a brief intermission to almost die. I had a low blood sugar attack and didn't notice because I'm kind of always shaky. But I ate some candy, as, a natural, healthy human would, sustainable nutrients. So I should be getting better. But that's why it is more swollen now, because I had to flirt with death a little bit. Because it is swollen at the top now, I can't connect this line to that line, which sucks, but I can do that in the second pass, so it is okay.
Shall we begin?
I just punched in a little hole to show where I want the second mountaintop to end. I am almost done with the general outline of the mountains. So now that the baseline is done for the mountains, I'm going to do some of the arrows, and then I'm going to take a couple hours of a break so that the swelling can go down so that I can start on the ridges of the mountains. That looks whack currently, but it'll come together, I promise. Also, new tattoos and healing tattoos itch like a motherfucker. Just a preface? Can you do a preface in the middle of a video? I don't know. It's a preface. I will, of course, touch this up and everything up in the second pass whenever I can do that. Oh, and there's ink on my boobs, there's ink on my face. It gets fucking everywhere. Is where I'm going to stop for right now. I'm gonna go watch a podcast or something, and I fell asleep. That is no surprise. But this is what it looks like the next day. I went ahead and reset all of my tattooing stuff, and I'm just going to pick up with some ridges, some static shading. I don't know if that's a real term. That's just what I call it because you're doing it with dots, so it kind of looks like a static effect. If it's not too sore, I will go ahead and do some touch-ups. So that is where I'm going to leave this tattoo. If I decide to straighten the lines or fill it in a little bit in the future, I will put that on my IG story. You can follow me there at MaddieFuckingRose. But with that, let's jump into the do's and don'ts of aftercare. Starting with the do's, the easiest part. After you finish your tattoo, you can choose to cover it for a few hours. I never do. I usually just leave mine alone until the next day, and then I start the aftercare process. You're going to want to wash your new tattoo twice a day with a mild unscented soap. Quick confession, I use a scented soap, and I'm just saying nothing bad has happened yet, but that doesn't mean it won't. So just play it safe, go with the unscented soap. And pretty much the only other thing is to moisturize your tattoo twice a day. Pretty much any unscented lotion will work for this. I personally use this. It is the Gold Bond Ultimate Healing with Aloe. I don't think it's necessary to use a healing lotion rather than any other lotion, but this is the one that I had on hand and it's been working super well to keep it moisturized. The reason why lotion is so important is because almost all new tattoos will scab a little bit. And if the tattoo gets too dry, then the scabs will flake off along with the ink that was in the scab. Sounds really fucking gross. And then the ink won't have a chance to sink back into your skin. So by keeping it moisturized, these scabs won't flake off so much and the ink will sink right back into your skin where it was at. It's the sound I just heard outside. Now let's get into the don'ts. Now this is something that I have hella experience in because I've been doing this a while and I've certainly fucked up more than the average person. I don't think I've honestly ever had a problem with stick and pokes, but I did use a tattoo gun for a while and that did not work for me. So most of my little horror stories are from the tattoo gun, but I never did any of the aftercare with stick and pokes that I did for the tattoo gun, so I'm assuming that it will be around the same. The first don't of stick and poke aftercare is don't use any kind of ointment, no Neosporin or anything on it. That will over moisten the area and it will draw all of the ink straight out of your skin into like a wet scab. Ew, is there any better way to describe this? Then it'll just peel right off your skin and it's gross, and that happened to me with the rose here when I first did this one. I kept it covered. You don't want to keep your tattoos covered beyond the first few hours. And like this whole rose just like peeled right off and it was really gross. Just girly things. Next is do not use any form of rubbing alcohol or anything like that to try to clean your tattoo. That will over dry your skin and make the scabs flake off, and like I said before, your ink will come out in the scabs. And it will fade your tattoo fast and it'll make it blotchy and weird. Avoid direct sunlight. One, it will burn like a motherfucker. It feels like you have a sunburn and all of the heat from the sun just goes like straight into the tattoo and it just like burns on your skin. It's not great, so just keep it covered when you go outside. And also, prolonged exposure to sunlight will fade your fresh tattoo. Try to shower with lukewarm water because hot water will feel really hot and painful on a fresh tattoo. Be gentle, avoid shaving over a fresh tattoo, avoid any exfoliants. You don't want to scrub or irritate the area in any way. But that is pretty much it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that any of this information helped you or you just enjoyed the time lapse. But I love you all so much. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, follow me on Instagram or whatever, and I will see you in the next one. Did I say I love you? I love you, if I didn't say that. Bye!